Welcome in, everybody, to another episode of the DMVR Rapids podcast. I'm your host, Mitchell Carroll, a.k.a. Merchel, a.k.a. Joan Appreciator. And obviously, all of us here at DNVR sending our condolences to the family, friends, and supporters of the Rapids who knew Joan, got to experience Rapids fandom with Joan. Duane, you've gotten to interact with Joan on a lot of occasions, and it's a big loss for the Rapids community.
It's a huge loss. Joan, I mean, if you've been on Twitter, you've seen everybody, give their anecdotes about Joan, and she's somebody I got to hang out with. I don't know her as well as, other people that have spent more time with her. I know Mark and Eric and Abby and all those folks that really got to spend a ton of time with her, but definitely spent, a lot of time over at I forget what it was called now, the bar at the Dick.
The Dales?
Dales.
Yeah, 1876.
Right.
All of its many names.
Right.
But just hanging out before, after a game, in some meetings with her, just seeing her around. She's always around. Just, it doesn't matter what the season looked like. Like, Joan was always all in on Rapids and always positive, always excited just to see the players, and see the fans and just be a part of the Rapids community. So, she was a bright star in the Rapids community.
And you've seen players too, man. Players like Rubio,
oh
Jack,
gosh, she
Drew,
was awesome with players.
She housed a lot of these guys. She helped them find homes.
Yep.
She worked countless hours for the team without pay because of passion. And I know players, the organization, and fans will be forever indebted for all the work she put in as one of the OGs of this club.
Yep.
Yeah, always at training, throughout the week, spring training, preseason training, really just always present. If you've had a favorite Rapid over the years, chances are they spent a ton of time with Joan, and Joan really helped them get acclimated to the area. Just our thoughts are with her family, with all of the Rapids community that were friends with Joan, with the club. I know the club was close to her, so it's just a time. Hopefully this season we can remember her. Hopefully the Rapids can put together an awesome season that she would really be joyful about. We just wanted to start the show just giving her our appreciation.
Absolutely. Obviously, lots of news this week we're going to have to get to here. We're going to talk about all our media day reactions and takeaways and just what we liked, what we didn't like, stuff to look out for, maybe little things that kind of went under the radar. Just all sorts of takeaways from that. We're going to play our little Zack Steffen interview that we had off to the side at Media Day, and we're going to figure out kind of how does Sammy Vines fit into all this, and kind of what is, kind of how does that new piece to the puzzle change the other piece that we need in that sixth role, and what can Armis and Pori kind of do to make that fit. And we're going to do a little draft. We're going to get drafty again, baby.
Oh, man, it's perfect for this office because it's hot in here.
Yeah.
We need a draft in here.
We need a draft in here. That's right.
Yeah.
Let's get into it. Let's get into Media Day. Let's start with the headliners. Djordje Mihailovic, Zack Steffen sit down together.
They had chemistry already.
You could tell they were vibing.
They were so giggly together.
You can tell they're homies. You can tell they're boys. You can tell they were in U.S. camps together for a while.
Absolutely. Anything, from them speaking, that you took away specifically? I know that Djordje kind of had probably the most soundbite material, quotes you could take. I don't know what you thought of that.
So my biggest takeaway from them actually didn't even come from them. It came from Armis talking about them.
Oh, okay.
It was Armis saying Mihailovic wants to break assist records, and he's hungry. He's insane, and he's focused. He kind of just called him out for being such a intense guy, and being somebody that's ready to just go out there and win.
He was really intense.
Yeah, and I kind of I've been looking at the assist record. I think so far the one I found 12 and 21 with Jack Price.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah, 21, 12 assists. Imagine if he breaks it this year.
I would put money on over.
I think that goal record will be in
Over.
Yeah,
I would take over.
I would take over. I think that I think that goal record's also going to be in jeopardy at the end of the season if he breaks that assist record.
It's crazy because, like, I know obviously we're going to say, like, yeah, that goal record's in jeopardy. It's only 16.
It's only, yeah.
That happens all the time.
All you need is 17 goals.
It's not, you don't even need a 20-goal season.
Other clubs break our
All the
in-season
time
record every
with
season.
multiple players.
But I mean,
It's
but
doable.
wouldn't it be nice
It's doable.
to have another tracker for Mihailovic assist in Navarro goals?
Yeah. Take the over on both.
Yeah, take the over. And when we talked to Djordje, you saw it right away. Dude's eyes kind of just lit up. They just kind of went wide open, and he's like, "I'm ready to kill anybody on that pitch."
Djordje, look, I'm ready for him. His play on the field, especially in Montreal, speaks for itself. He has such like a almost like Batman villain kind of vibe. You know, and I think maybe it's the middle part thing.
Bro,
which
I'm
feels
so glad you brought this
like,
up.
Old school and like, and then he's talking about like it's not going to be perfect to start, and like he talked about how the Rapids weren't on his list, and he just has such this not I don't want to say bad guy vibe, but like what I'm trying to say.
You know what it is? You know what it is? He has the Johnny Tsunami rich kid. I ski. I'm the bad guy in the movie, and that's the vibe he has. The Johnny Tsunami, like bad guy. I know how to ski, and I'm gonna like beat you up. That's what it feels like, and I like it. I'm all for it. We need. He looks intimidating.
The middle part gets me every time.
It does too. It does to me too.
It's so old. Like who does that nowadays? He's the only one.
I've only seen TikTokers do that.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. And
Steffen,
they are the bad guys.
Steffen was a little on the opposite. I think wasn't so intense, right? I think they're both pretty positive about the end result. I think if you ask them both individually 4 months ago, like, hey, like, what do you think about going to Colorado? I don't think either one of them would have been all that excited, fairly, right? Because that's end of the season. It's going bad. Like, but then now you have and that poor quote that we threw up in a quote graphic, once the dominoes started to fall, you could tell we meant business, right? And I think you're going to see that with this 6th signing, because that 6 is going to see Sam Vines, Djordje Mihailovic, Zack Steffen, right? And be like, oh, okay, I can join that project.
For sure.
Right? And it took a guy like Omir kind of being the first domino to fall, right? And then, but to get back to Zach, right? Like he seemed so confident, but also just like, I think he knows that this is probably not the trajectory that his career was on. I think he's fully aware of it, and I think he knows that he does have something to prove, but he doesn't seem like that is a burden. He seems very at peace with where he's at and ready, right? He's missed time with his surgery, hasn't got to play a ton. But I think he's excited. I think he's, culturally speaking, he's happy to be in the U.S., be with his family. He's a new dad. And I think it makes sense here. Actually, Alyssa, you ready to go? We can play that video. We were able to break out with him separately at Media Day. So this is the interview we had with him. Let's play it.
Hey, Mitch Keller here with DNVR Sports, joined by Zack Steffen, new Colorado Rapid. Just first off, welcome to Colorado. What are your initial impressions on city? And sort of, obviously you came on the coldest, snowiest possible time, but sort of how are you feeling settling in?
Yeah, man, no, it's a beautiful city. Just driving around, a lot of sunshine, which is nice. Coming from Manchester, not too much sun. So it's just nice waking up every day, seeing the sun.
Right.
And it's snowing. I haven't seen much snow, but no, the staff, the club have been great. It's good people. They got great plans for the future, and there's nice people here. So I'm glad to be here.
So you wound up a team with kind of a legendary goalkeeper coach in Chris Sharpie. How's that relationship building? You've been able to talk to him, catch up. Sort of, what are you looking forward to with that?
Yeah, he's great. High energy, motivated, details. Just from the conversation we've had, he's got goals for the team, goals for himself and his goalkeepers. it goes for me. So I'm really excited to get working with him. I know that Howard loved him, and everybody loves him. So I'm really looking forward to working with him and getting going. All these days of just sitting around doing all these little things that we just want to get going.
Sure.
We just want to get training, get the chemistry going between the goalkeeping crew, and I want to see how he works. I want him to really push me. Obviously, he's going to push me, and start some really good conversations on that. And yeah, like I said, the goals that we have for this year and for the future are aligned. So, very privileged. Excited to speak here.
You and Djordje, you guys did your first presser here together. You guys were kind of smiling back and forth at each other. What's that relationship like? You guys excited to finally play together, not on a national team level, but day in and day out, be able to train and play and kind of get to spend time together.
Yeah, man, he's a great kid, and a great athlete, a great soccer player. And yeah, I'm really happy for him, for his family, and I'm happy that we push each other. We have good camaraderie, good chemistry together, on and off the field, or off the field, I guess. I'm sure grow that. Sure. But we're excited to grow that, and we're excited to help this team and help this club lift some trophies, win some games, and build a culture and chemistry. We met out.
Colorado's coming off probably its toughest stretch as a club, right? Finished bottom of the West, allowed a lot of goals, didn't score many. Do you feel, do you see it as an opportunity? Do you feel like you have some extra pressure as one of the new guys, higher profile guy, to come in and help lead that change? And sort of how do you see yourself fitting into a shift like that from what was a tough season to what may have higher expectations than we thought?
Yeah, I see it as a challenge. Everything happens for a reason. God's put me here for a reason. I see it as a challenge.
All right, guys. Zack Steffen, he seems ready to go.
Dude, Zach's cool.
He's cool.
He's a real cool guy.
Very cool.
He is.
Yeah.
He's cool. You might be the coolest rapper right now.
I still give that to Keegan, dude. If you know how to
That's
cut
true.
hair,
Keegan knows what's good.
If you give
Yeah,
that to
yeah,
Mr.
yeah.
I'll give that to Mr. Rapid every day of the week. But Zach's competing for that cool award in the Rapids locker room.
Absolutely. Let's talk Keegan, actually, because Keegan and Cole. Unless you have any other thoughts on Djordje and Steffen's.
I think, Duane, do you have anything on the 2-star new additions?
It's more like, full roster wise, but it's definitely related to these two guys. And Mitch and I talked about this yesterday. It seems like it's been always very easy for Rapids fans to pick a player to put on their jersey really quick. Like there's always fan favorite, there's one or two guys.
Cabral.
Cabral or Illich, the guys.
Gershbach, fan favorite.
So there's always been those favorite dudes, whether it's Price or Rubio, whoever. I think Rapids fans are going to have a hard time picking who they want on their jersey.
It's obviously those two. You don't see a lot of keeper kits, but Steffen might, you still see some Howard kits in C38 every now and then.
But you got Steffen, you got Djordje, you've got
Sammy Vines back.
Sammy
you can break
Vines,
out the Sammy Vines kit.
You've got Cole Bassett, you've got Connor Ronan,
Keegan,
Omir.
Mr. Rapid.
Omir, who people don't know him yet, but Omir is going to be super popular.
Bombi.
Yeah.
Maxu.
I keep forgetting about
it's
Bombi.
just, literally
Bombi
every
keeps
player.
popping up when we get into talking players, and I just get so excited. I wish he was there yesterday.
Navarro, if he works
Rafa,
out. And
it's
Rafa,
crazy.
If he starts scoring goals.
Dude, if a Brazilian striker is scoring goals, there are going to be kits all over the field.
Yeah, dude.
All over the stadium of him.
All over the field, just
it's
everywhere.
Whatever. You know what I meant. Who cares?
But new kit rumors are coming out, right?
Yep.
And related to that is, it might be the hardest year ever to decide who you're going to
really
put
good
on
point.
that new
Yeah.
kit. Like, this may be the hardest year in Rapids history of who do I put on the back of this new kit. Craziness.
But it's nice though, right?
It's awesome. That's not a negative. That's amazing.
And it's great because everything about this team is they're super likable right now.
Yeah.
They're
Very,
super
very likable.
From even Chris Armas, when we talked to him, we were not the biggest fans of the hire. We can admit that.
Sure.
Hey, he came up here on this show. He was on these couches, and he sold us on the vision.
Instantly.
As soon as we got off, all three of us looked at each other and were like,
Dude, before the first ad break, I was like, oh, yeah, I'm in.
like we all immediately we looked at each other and were like, this might be the guy.
Yeah.
He might have a Wolf Nancy kind of year. Like,
I mean, look, and we can maybe get into this, and we'll wait on the Keegan and Cole part. Something to prove FC is real, right?
yep.
And I am sorry, I tried to find who said that first on Twitter. I saw it, I can't find it. Shout out to you. It wasn't in our Rapids verse. That was the thing. It was someone, I think, quote tweeting that MLSsoccer.com
Yep.
story. But it's true. I mean, this is something to prove FC. You have
It was MLS Now, I think, who did that.
okay, the MLS Now. So you have shout out. You have Armas coming off the Toronto disaster and a learning and growing experience with Manchester United and Leeds. You have Zack Steffen, who couldn't hang on to that backup role or grow into a starting role in City and got loaned down to the Championship and then got hurt, missed time. You have Djordje, who went from one of the best assisters, period, in the MLS, goes over to AZ Alkmaar, and
Oh, good pronunciation.
thanks. Wow, thanks. And then you have Sam Vines goes over to Antwerp, gets left out of the Champions League roster, gets injuries kind of fluctuate in and out of how much he plays. I don't know how many full 90s he played, but it wasn't a lot, right? And so Sam's going to come back. You have the homegrown Cole, who last year was kind of something to prove year, and I think he started that towards the end of the season, led the club in goals. Wasn't a lot of goals, but still led the club in goals, took on a leadership role.
And he talked about it. Talked about it too.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, Rafa has something to prove because he has a giant price tag that is, I'm going to just go, if I had to say right now, it's going to be paid.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, unless it goes terribly, terribly.
I
And
believe
he
it's
has
not going to
something
be the
live up
4.5.
for.
I don't think it's going to be the 4.5.
I don't think it's going to be anywhere near that at his current rate of scoring goals.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see.
I think he's going to get bought, just not for that price.
And I think that to me is the biggest takeaway because it's on every single level, right? You even go up to Padraig Smith, who put together the roster for the last 2 years that failed.
Yep.
Right? It did, and he knows it.
And we're not
so-
even talking about the back line with guys like Moyes that's trying to prove something for the Canadian national team. Talking like Maxu, proving that he's the leader of this team and that price tag that they spent on him last
proving
year.
that he's worth a DP slot coming from Denmark.
Exactly.
You know?
Those kind of things are like, this whole team, even from the depth, when you look at J. Lou and Galvan, who had bad years last year, when you look at guys like Keita, who didn't play, you look at the rookies and Nate Jones, Kamani Stewart-Baines, everybody on this roster has something that they have to prove next year.
There's a lot. In terms of leadership, and this question came up a few times. Well, I think whoever tuned into the Zoom to ask the question missed the first question, but it was asked twice. No captain yet.
Nope.
They were not. They said this is gonna. I bet you when they come back from Mexico, and they have a week of training here, I bet you that's when we know who the captain is. If you had to guess right now, boys,
Oh gosh.
who do you think grabs that armband?
Oof.
I can go first if you need to think.
Yeah, go first.
I think it's Keegan Rosenberry. He was up in that first group post leadership.
Yeah.
It was him and Cole. He is the oldest player on the team. I had to ask him about that.
Yeah. Very happy about it.
Because, Beta left, Yarby left, Danny Wilson left,
All the
Rubio left,
Jack left.
Yeah. You're out of the 30. He's the only 30-year-old on the team.
Which is
and
Max
he's so
Hu.
steady. He's Mr. Rapid.
Yeah,
He's-
Maxu's like the one right up with
Oh,
him.
is Maxu?
Yeah, Maxu's like 30 or 29.
Well, now I have to figure it out.
Who do you
No,
think
he's
is-
29. He's 29.
Okay. Who do you think it is, Duane?
I want to say it's Steffen, but I don't like when goalkeepers are the captain because I think it needs to be somebody who can be up in the up near the referee. So That's who I would think it would be, but I hope it's not. Nothing against Steffen. I don't like it when goalkeepers are captains. So I don't know. I think Mitch makes a lot of sense. You know, like Keegan's got the seniority on the team. I mean, ultimately it's going to be, but I also see Keegan as, he's a very quiet dude. He's admittedly like, he's a leader by example. You know, I don't even know if Keegan wants that, you know, as much as he just wants to get in.
The reluctant captain.
Yeah, he's the reluctant leader, you know.
Maxu wore the armband last year. You know, there's a chance they just default to that. And, you know, by all accounts, he was when Maxu spoke, it was very intentional, right? He wasn't like a Rubio who's constantly in your ear, getting on your case, making sure that you're doing this, that, and the other.
Yep.
But his impact was specific. It was timely, and it was loud and noticed. You know, but otherwise a pretty quiet lead by example kind of guy. So I could see them sticking with that too.
To me,
there's
honestly,
a lot of candidates, and then there's still Cole too.
Well, that's what I was gonna say, man. I think it's Cole. I think Cole Bassett's gonna be the guy, and I just think it's because of his way of leadership. At the media day, Keegan, Omir, all these guys were asked about how do you lead a team? What leadership attributes do you bring to the team? And all of them said, I lead by example. And a captain on the pitch can't lead by example. Sometimes you got to scream at guys. You got to be in the ref's face. And you saw it last year. I think Cole had 2 yellows for yelling at the ref.
Yeah.
And I think that's exactly what we need in a captain. You need somebody that's going to go fight for you at the ref. You need somebody that's going to go scream at the other players. Going to go scream at your own players and tell them where you're at.
Yeah.
That's why I think Maxu and Bassett are the leaders in the room. And not just that, when we had Chris on the show, we asked him, who are you most excited to work with? Who was here, he immediately mentioned Cole. We asked Omir the exact same question. Omir said Bassett.
Yeah.
They've
played together too, like national camps and stuff.
They're young. Like Bassett's a super young player. He's a guy that
how many U22s do you think have been a captain in the MLS?
I think maybe
probably not a lot.
Maybe like 4 in since U22
right.
actually started.
Probably not a lot.
But
he's only 21.
But I think again, I think that's I still believe Cole should be the captain. He's a homegrown. You kind of want to cultivate that leadership in that cultivate that leadership within somebody that loves the club, somebody that's been with the club, knows what the club means to a lot of people. Right. And Cole showed his face all last year to the media, the worst season the Rapids have ever had, and he was there trying to be the guy for everybody. And to me, there's no more obvious option than Cole, except for Keegan, but Keegan's leadership style might just not fit with the armband.
Right. Look, Keegan knows that leaders left. Right, and that was one of the questions to him, right? That you lose Price, the team lost its captain, right? But you didn't just lose him; you also lost the 2 other guys that would wear the armband in Jack Price's stead was Rubio and William Yarbrough, right?
Yep.
And I mean, Maxu got it a few times too, like especially I think like in U.S. Open Cup he was the captain, stuff like. But for the most part, it was either Rubio or Yarby filling in for Price as the captain. All 3 of those guys out. Yep. Right, and Keegan knows that. He knows that there's no beta on the team anymore to kind of be a mentor and help out the guy that's seen everything. Right, there's he commented on that. It's like, this is new, it's young, it's exciting, but he also said, I'm not losing competition. Right, like my body will go before my competitive edge goes.
Exactly,
and he's not a mentor. That's not his role. His role is starter. One of potentially a top right back in the league on his best days. Maybe didn't have his best season last year, but I think that guy's clocking in and putting in a shift every time, right?
Yeah, and it's to me, it's not nothing against Keegan. It's just more what you need on the pitch as a captain. It's very different to what leadership is, and you can be a leader without being a captain. And I think we saw that throughout the last years when you had guys like Yarby, when you had guys like Rubio, and you had guys like Maxu not wearing the captain armband, but they were still out there helping their team and being leaders to the young guys.
Can I say something really funny that's off topic that just popped up on my phone? Bogert reported that Salt Lake is interested in that guy from Sheffield Wednesday, whose last name is Windass. Yeah. And I hope he goes to Salt Lake so I can make fun of him a lot. Anyways.
It would match, right? Windass at RSL.
It's so funny. Okay. some stuff we couldn't get into. You couldn't really ask about Vinesy yet because all it was a report until it's done there and done here, right? So you couldn't ask a lot about Vines. You couldn't. We talked to Porig a bit about the 6, but it was more like we know that there's business to be done. We're adding a 6. We're adding them this week. And maybe now we can kind of bring up that bring a new wave report where it was like there's interest from the team side for sure. And there's fallback interest from Kellen. And Kellen's name has popped up when Sammy's name has popped up, right? And when I first heard Sammy, I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. Probably not going to happen, right? Like, and then it happened, right? So maybe hearing that name around the same time with Kellen could mean completely out the door, but I thought that was true with Sam, and now Sam's, so like maybe it is Kellen.
This is why I think reports get overblown sometimes about players being frustrated, players being mad. You have a job, you get mad at your coworkers, you get mad at people, and you still work with them.
I get mad at you all the time.
Exactly, like it's
Sure,
part of it.
I'm mad at you right now.
Right now.
Exactly, and you know what? We'll mend this relationship and we'll work together again all
And
week.
we're gonna
and
get
next
through the
week.
show. Yeah,
exactly. And like people can work together and people can fix relationships. Kellen already won his MLS Cup. Kellen kind of accomplished what he wanted to accomplish, and if Europe doesn't go through, why wouldn't he come back home to a place where he understands the culture is being built with new players that it's going to create a better team and in a location that he loves? He loved Colorado, and people forget that.
Not just that. I think the biggest point is we talked about the dominoes falling, right? Every one of those dominoes, even a guy like Omir Fernandez, who has made it to U23 camps and stuff, all think they have a shot at the national team.
Yep.
Right? Like Colin Omir might be in the Olympics this summer.
Yeah.
Right?
Gold Cup.
Steffen might work his way into that Gold Cup roster again.
Yep.
Or
Vines too.
Vines,
Djordje.
like all these guys want to get it back. And Kellen, he's one of those guys that's probably going to, as these young guys that are in Europe and rising stars in America kind of lift themselves up, he's probably going to be that 5th, 6th midfielder on that roster. Coming back to Colorado with the guys on Colorado's roster right now, Greg Berhalter isn't missing a Rapids game this season. He's not. He can't. There's too many guys playing together that have a case to make that roster and be impactful on that roster.
And you're telling me if the Rapids still make a Leagues Cup or a Leagues Cup run, if they don't make an MLS Cup run, like they're not going to be in consideration for all these competitions coming up in the next 2 years?
No, that's why I think it makes even more sense for him to come
Exactly.
here.
Like,
because look, if he had that European offer that he wanted, he would be in a top 5 league right now.
Exactly.
Right? So I'm guessing those offers are mid-tier championship teams in England.
I'm also guessing like
maybe
lower,
or like Switzerland,
or lower
Portugal,
level Belgium kind of thing.
Belgium, Netherlands. And that's not obviously what he was looking for, right? That's not what his agent has been hyping up for 2 years now.
Yeah.
Right? And I think
And
Porg
talk about
has
veteran presence at all levels.
God, and just he would fit that get it dirty, that 6 that we need to really muck it up.
Yeah, and even then, it's depth. Because what if you go get another 6? Now that midfield looks nice. When you have a guy like Ronan, Cole, when you have guys like...
I mean, if you're starting Ronan, Cole, Kellen in that midfield, you're set.
Yeah, but you can also have guys like Jasper, and you can go get a U22 6, and you still have Daniel Chacon coming back from injury that can be a piece going forward.
Yeah.
You got so many more pieces in that midfield that you expected, and we just got the notification that Wayne Frederick officially signed for Colorado. And now we have another midfielder that they expect him to play the 6, expect him to play the 8. And it's just so much going on right now that there's also so many more rumors about like Lalo, and there's guys like
Lalo's dead.
Nino.
I don't think that's happening.
Yeah, that's pretty much. But we had those
He's not
rumors.
dead.
He's
The
fine,
rumors
everyone.
said
He's fine.
We don't know that.
okay.
Have you talked to him today? Have you talked to him today?
Praise him.
But I think at that point you have a very versatile midfield, right? You have Cole that can play the 8-10. You have Ronan that can play the 8-6. You have Kylan that can play all three midfield roles, and you just become
I
a
want
very
him as the 6.
You have so much versatility.
He's not necessarily the tank that I want back there, that can just drop back to the middle center back basically when those wings push up, but I still think he would be awesome. He's high energy, great set piece taker.
He's gritty.
Winner, right? Like, he's just been around. He knows. I think he'd be a great fit.
Who knows? Keegan might even play that 6.
Yeah, that's
Inverted fullback.
Moise
might be pushed back, and then you bring Keegan in as one of your center backs.
It's interesting. It's interesting to think about. Sam Vines. I imagine that deal, we might be getting that press release today, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Somewhere in there. He'll be joining the team down in Mexico and getting to training. He's here. You see, I don't know if you saw Richard Fleming posting pictures of all the family at the airport with the dog and luggage, and they're here.
Yep.
Obviously, we had our hype cast
For Vines.
for Vinesy on Saturday. Now that the hype cast is, the hype cast adrenaline, the going crazy for the move has worn down, how do you see that? How do you see that going? Like, obviously he's automatic left back starter, period. Right? Or do you have high expectations for the season? I mean, statistically, or, like, how much impact is he coming in to complement the other guys? Like, that left side could be super dangerous, Duane.
Super duper dangerous. Like, I mean, my expectation is watching Sam Vines when he was in Burgundy before he left, which was a dude down on the left side near where my old seats used to be, and just to be able to watch him fly up and down the left side. I mean, it's the thing, like with Gutman, like
He flew one way.
he flew one way. Exactly. That's the perfect. I was trying to figure out how to say it, and you just did. He flew one way, and he was great for, like, really, really good with Harris, and part of the chain of moving the ball up the side. Unfortunately, that was not a great strategy. Hasn't been for years, to just run it up the side until you hit the goal line and run out of space. Now it's going to move more towards the interior. But the point of all this is that Sam is two-way. He's a guy who's going to be able to fly up the side, get the ball to whoever's up there on the left starting, and when things fall apart or something happens in transition, he's a guy that you don't have to worry about getting back. Like, he is sneaky fast, and when there is an issue and we have to get the ball, get somebody back to cover, get back to the back line, like, you don't have to worry about Sam Vines on that. Like, sneaky fast.
Yeah.
Really good. Attacks the ball, can tackle. All of the things that we were missing last year on that left side, like, Sam's going to bring that in. So it's really locked down.
And you saw it too when he was here in Colorado, right? Robin played him as a wing back, and he was great at in the attacking end, but he always recovered, just like you said. And especially with this formation of a high press, high energy kind of Red Bull style of football that Arma's going to bring to the team, transition oriented, Sam has that offensive prowess in him. He has that where he can put the crosses in, where he can get the shots out, and he can get the ball to the right place, how you said. But that recovery speed, I think, is the key to what Vines does special.
Yep.
He's a grinder. He's always willing to come all the way back. And it's one thing to be fast. It's another thing to be recovery quick. Like, have quick recovery speed. And that's exactly, I think, what Armas was sold on when you bring in a guy like Vines. And that's my favorite part about the signing. You're in the helmet set. You bring another guy to prove, that has something to prove. You're not bringing a guy that is just here for a paycheck. You're bringing a young player that it didn't work out in Europe because of some injuries, and now wants to prove that he still has it in him, and he's trying to do it at his home club. He's trying to do it at the place where it all started, and that's what you want in a player. You want somebody that's going to come in and try his hardest. And that's what I'm most excited about, Vines coming back. And then if you bring in Kellen Acosta, you're just bringing the 2021 band together, and I think the sky's the limit. Honestly, man, I love Rubio. Absolutely love Rubio. But I think Mihailovic might be an upgrade over him. And it's going to be an upgrade that's going to produce more goals. If Rafa can figure it out, you're going to have a lethal duo in those two. And then you still have Cole and Omir on the other side. How can you not be excited about the squad?
Yeah.
And then you look at who's behind Omir, in my opinion, is one of the most underrated Rapids. It's Calvin Harris.
Yep.
I was looking at his stats. Dude is in the 80th percentile of most offensive metrics. That's going to be one of your backups. That's a guy that can produce. I know people were so sour on him. The team was bad last year. Now imagine if he has good service. If he has people that can get him the ball quickly. It's going to be a fun season, and I think Vines is going to be the missing piece to this because he can also be an inverted fullback.
Yep.
He can also come in if needed, and Mihailovic can get
You're gonna have
so much.
Vines, Bassett, Mihailovic on that left feeding that attack.
Yeah, and Pat.
That's insane.
And Pat Radigan from I forget what outlet he's Footy. Even asked him what was the key to bringing in a lot of these guys. What was the key to looking at these players? And Norman said versatility. We want players that can play in multiple roles. And you have that in Nicole that can play a 10 and an 8. You have that in Rafa that can play a 9 and 10. Mihailovic can play winger in a 10. It's so much versatility all over the pitch.
Totally. Real quick, yes, it's official. The top 3 draft picks from the 2024 MLS Super Draft presented by Adidas.
That's still the fact that you say Adidas every time when we know that it's not necessary.
That's how you say it.
We shouldn't though.
It doesn't matter.
But we don't care if it's presented by Adidas. But I love that you bring it up.
It's presented by Adidas.
Okay, Adidas.
Look, I'm just gonna say it as many times as Weeby had to say it, and then my bit's over. But I still have like 50 to go. So,
and I think that's only gonna reach halfway.
It was one of the highlights
signed,
of the draft. Is how silly it was.
All 3 have signed. Kamani Stewart-Baines and Wayne Frederick signed 3-year deals with an option for 2027. Mm-hmm. Nate Jones, the opposite, 1-year deal, 3 options that can keep him through 2027 as well.
What great deals!
Great deals.
I love the 3 options.
That is young, high upside talent, cost controlled, and they're here for a while. And the way they talk, those guys are, they want those guys to potentially, a couple of the guys have been mentioned with European upside. So, especially a guy like Kamani who is faster than anybody and, is skilled around the net and can clean up a lot of messes up there. So, pretty exciting to get them in. They'll be, obviously, if they're signed now, they'll be joining the team in Mexico and getting to work.
Yep.
Team leaves for Mexico today. There's some new additions to the team, obviously. We've been talking about all of them.
Yep.
And our roster graphic, it felt like half the roster is new additions.
I love making that roster graphic. It makes me so giddy.
Well, we're gonna have a couple new changes coming up, definitely for sure. There's still I would still expect some outbounds and some inbounds.
Yep.
I don't think this is over at all. That is not me scooping anything. I mean, obviously we know 6 is coming in. I still think there's a piece too many on the wings, and you could fill in, with another striker, maybe another center back, maybe another outside back, something like that.
I mean, even I think an outside.
It's in flux.
Yeah,
right?
even like Gershbach, I think has been rumored to be on the outbound.
Yep.
Hasn't really worked out here.
You could see a Lewis or a Galvan, maybe. Unfortunately, I think, I don't think anyone wants to see them leave, but I just think there's so many pieces in those positions that if you need to restructure, I do think they need a pure target guy, end of bench, big striker guy to kind of come in. When
Gunner, let's go.
Yeah.
They said that Gunner was scary. Dude's big.
Okay, but with all these new guys coming to Colorado, these aren't homegrowns. These are guys from outside coming to a new place. And we want to show them the best of Colorado. Right? Is that fair? We want them to get to know.
I think it's the right thing to do.
To get them to know the state, to get them to feel comfortable and make this feel like home. So, as such, the 3 of us are going to draft places to take the new Rapids in Denver. And that Denver is loose because Duane didn't.
We didn't.
Yeah, I
set
thought I
parameters.
was thinking more. I was thinking more full on Colorado, but we've switched it to be an hour ish.
Look,
drive.
I mean, the point is when they have a day as they're getting into training, getting used to the team, they want to go do something to show how cool Colorado is.
Yeah.
Right? Something that they can go quick, check out, get to know the place.
Real quick before we continue to the draft, I just want to say real quick, we are a podcast, so you can listen to us on Megaphone, on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and on wherever you get your podcast. Also, give us a thumbs up. That we really appreciate.
Thumbs
it.
up right now.
And subscribe and put notifications on. You can always get notifications for Rapids, Broncos, and every team that you love here in Denver. So it's gonna be a great time.
All right. Listen, you got the draft board?
Woo!
Looks like Dwayne's up first, then Yaya, then me. And I get the turn, baby.
You do get the turn. You got the nice one. I got shaft on this.
Yep, good.
Yep.
You
you had to
deserve
go
it.
first last, so I did move you.
Yeah.
I try to switch it
No,
up.
you
every
do a
time.
good job. It's not your fault.
I
trying to
never go
switch it
first,
up.
just for the record.
Yes, you did.
Yeah,
two
you've gone
times ago.
multiple times.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, tight.
Yeah.
Good. As I should.
All right, first overall pick of the draft. Maybe the most obvious pick of all time. It's already been mentioned in the chat.
God damn it. This is why I wanted to go first.
The world's most fascinating, interesting, exciting restaurant, Casa Bonita.
That's actually a good pick.
God damn, that's a good
It's
pick,
an
and I'm
excellent.
mad.
It's the only first overall pick.
Real quick, also, the qualifier is it has to be an hour away from Denver.
Hour-ish,
Hour.
depending on how you
Yeah.
drive.
Hey, Mark Weatherly, our guy. That whole Sunusi Ibrahim thing, from what I've heard, is nothing. That was a guy with 23 followers on Twitter who just kind of made up something. That's I would not put any sort of credence into that. I got kind of almost laughed at when I asked if that was legit. So don't put too much into that. Okay, Casa Bonita, great first pick. Yaya, you are up next.
Oh man, this is kind of hard. But I think to show the variety of Denver and how many things we can do in Denver,
Okay.
I'm gonna say Meow Wolf. There's only
Oh,
four.
I didn't even have that on my list.
That was next on mine.
That
That
was
is an ace choice.
It's like only
Ace.
there's only like 4 locations in the world, I think, and and Denver has one of them.
I
It's
actually
so
have been to
awesome.
the other ones and not the Denver one yet somehow.
Yeah, so
I've just been to Denver. I've
yeah.
not been to.
So I think it has to be Meow Wolf. in
It's
my
got to
opinion.
be.
Great
Meow Wolf,
choice.
it just shows that we have a lot of new experiences.
Great choice. Man, that's a good choice.
Excellent.
All
Excellent
right.
first round choice.
I'm going to take a basic bitch pick here. But it's a perfect pick. Because concert season is right around the corner.
Yep.
That was awesome.
And we're going to Red Rocks.
Yes.
That was my other one that I had.
You got to go. You got to go. It
Yep.
doesn't, I mean, personally, I would probably take them to maybe Joe Russo's Almost Dead, get a little Dead cover band, really feel the vibes at
Take them
Red
to
Rocks.
Decadence. Screw it.
You could take them to the 420 festival, even
Yeah.
though they're probably not allowed to, but I'm
It's
not
Colorado,
I'm not
nobody
going to
cares.
tell on them. There's all sorts of options there, and even you can even go to Film on the Rocks and have a fun night.
Yeah, dude.
Take the kids, go have fun. Red Rocks is the best obvious pick. Can't believe I got it third.
This might be the best round one
That we've
overall.
ever
like
had.
just ever. Like just aced it.
It's almost like we know Denver like the back of our hands.
Those are great choices.
So many of my picks are on the west side where I am, and I can't go back to back on the west side.
Yeah, you can. It's
You
fine.
can do whatever you want.
I want
it's
to
your
be
draft, buddy.
I want to take this because I know that I probably won't be able to get it last.
Okay.
Gotta go to the DNVR bar,
Damn
baby.
it, that was my
pick next. You have
Damn
to bring him down for a Nuggets game, a Nuggets playoff game. Watch Jokic dominate. Watch how crazy the crowd goes. Last night was an Avs comeback win, and Nuggets Sixers in the bar. It was electric. It was so much fun. Shows you how passionate this town can be when it comes to sports and sports fandom. And when a good team is there, they show up and go crazy. DNVR bar, easiest pick on the board.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
That's a great second round pick.
Yeah, that's the one I wanted.
It's a great
my
first
second
round pick.
Yeah.
It's a great
I just
pick.
knew because I don't pick for 5 more. I knew it wouldn't make it to me. So
Yeah.
I had to get it.
I was gonna take it on this pick. So
Yep,
you're
had to
right.
take it.
I was thinking of taking it number 1 overall, but I'm like, damn, Meow Wolf. My Mitch is a Meow Wolf.
I would have taken.
Yeah.
Wasn't even on my list.
And yeah, and after you said it, I was pissed.
That would have been my second pick.
Yeah, I would have taken. I would have been before you, so it would have been gone.
Yeah, that's
So,
true.
Flea kind of in the same as Mitch, kind of in the same rounds. And I don't know if this is fair or not, but I think I'd take him to the Broncos home opener. Show him how passionate.
That's
sports
pretty
fans-
far away from the start of the season.
I
They'll
mean,
have played like 30
wait.
games already.
I mean, are we doing?
We didn't
like,
put it- we didn't
yeah,
put a
we
time-
didn't
Well,
put
sure, but I'm
limit.
saying
You
it's
didn't put
just
a
show
time
them Denver.
restriction
Fair enough.
on-
That's all I'm saying. I'm just commenting on the pick.
But my thing is not even. But my thing is, I want to show them how passionate
Sure.
Denver sports fans can be. And Broncos home opener, you do the DNVR tailgate, you go get some free drinks, some free food, and then you go chill there.
You should take him. It's a little earlier in the season to the Nuggets back-to-back championship game.
That's true. Take
Actually,
him to
I
the
was
finals game.
You want to know something? I really wanted to say, yeah, I'll take him to the championship parade.
That's right.
But I was like, I don't know if I don't want to jinx it right now.
There's going to be 2 championship parades, though.
Yeah,
so.
the back-to-back ones. But I think the Broncos one, to me, it's not even the Broncos. I just want to show them how passionate Denver fans can be
That's
when
what-
a team
Sure.
is loved and you can be loved here.
Yeah, not as good as the DNVR bar, but a
It's
good
not.
example for
It's
sure.
not, and that's what was my pick. That's what it pissed
All
me
right,
off.
Duane, you're up.
All right, we're leaving downtown
Whoa.
with my second pick.
Where are we going?
We're going to the Stanley Hotel.
Oh, that's a really
Yeah,
good,
that's a good
one.
one.
Up in Estes. It's right by the
Especially-
national park. It's haunted. It's so much story behind it, not just Colorado lore.
Yep.
With why it was created and where it was created. In the turn of the last century. It's just such a cool part of Colorado history, but then also a cool part, me being a horror film fan, and books, just a cool part of the Stephen King Shining story, Stanley Hotel.
That's such a great pick.
Damn it.
I didn't even think of that one.
What the hell?
It's one of my favorite
That's why you
places.
said hour
I've stayed
ish.
there.
You're like,
It's an hour-ish, depending on how you drive.
There's man, especially
About an hour and 20.
because you know, like in Lions, you can either go one way or the other to
Yeah.
get to Estes. If you go that way, where you're coming through the lake, basically, right?
Yep.
And it's like the sunny day. You get
beautiful
Rocky
up
Mountain
there.
behind,
It's
Rocky
so
Mountain
pretty.
National Park behind them. And there's not a better drive, I think, in Colorado
No,
than
it's a
that,
great
than
drive.
that
Snowshoeing
coming
up there.
into Estes to
Yeah,
see the
it's
hotel
gorgeous.
and see the.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
It's a
great,
beautiful time.
great pick.
All right, Dwayne, you're back to back.
Dwayne, back to back.
Oh, I get to go again?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Woo! Man, there's so many choices, but I'm going to go with the most rapids one
Oh, geez.
that you can choose. Also outside of downtown, it's whitewater rafting.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's actually doing
Are they?
rapids.
You think that's one of the things they're allowed to do on their
Yeah,
contract?
that's all about.
It's pretty safe.
Is it? You
Yes.
could drown and die.
Penny is sitting right over there. She's been rafting.
So have I, and I haven't drowned and
twice.
died, but I'm saying this, they're contracted athletes.
Yeah, there's things that they can do.
You would get more injured at the Broncos home opener
That's true.
than you would whitewater rafting.
Especially if it's against the Raiders.
So I'm sticking with it.
No,
It's
no.
safe.
It's a good pick. We're just
Yeah.
giving you guff. That is a good pick.
I'm going to be honest. I thought the DNVR bar was still going to be here.
Yep.
So
It
I'm
wasn't
like-
because I am a genius drafter.
I'm
a good pick.
spinning right now, so I don't know where to go from here.
Well, too bad you have to pick.
I know I have to pick. I have no other choice. Part of me wanted to say Colfax to show him the shitty side of Denver.
No,
where to stay away from.
no.
But that's not what we're drafting. Oh man, this is hard. Shit.
Dustin says
Yeah.
we could lose our whole back line off a waterfall.
that's actually very true.
I don't think you raft off of waterfalls.
No, you don't.
I think we'll be okay.
I think we'll be okay too.
Let me think. Give me a
No.
couple seconds. Couple seconds. I'm
All right.
asking
So
for
you're on
seconds.
the clock.
I am on the clock.
Man,
Damn
there
it.
was a great one right at the top of the screen there.
That's too pandering.
That's for the fan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's too
pander
pandering.
away.
too pandery.
Yeah, I kind of agree with Mitch on that one. I love Colorado, dude. I had like a list of 20 places and I just like lost all of them right now. But I think the place I'm gonna take them
I mean,
to.
this place is pretty close to here.
Yeah,
Pretty close. that are good.
What about you want one of mine?
I'll take one of yours.
No. They're still available. We're not saying picks yet.
Djordje.
I don't even know what he said. I'll say C38 tailgate.
God, you
Yeah.
pandering.
I
Love it.
I was completely lost in this one, man. I have so many in my mind, but right now I just think I wanted to say like original Chubbies too, like Kev, but I'm like nobody's gonna get that, so I think I'm just gonna take him to a C38.
I was
tailgate.
gonna go. C38 tailgate was on my list,
It is
but
actually
nobody chose actual Rapids.
Yeah,
so
it's an actual really good tailgate.
it's the best.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good. Hopefully that means that they are just there before the game and not injured or, whatever.
Oh my gosh!
Well, I'm just saying it's the players.
Every your critique of every choice is what if they get hurt?
Yeah, that's very true.
It's an important question. They're athletes.
I mean,
I'm having fun.
That
doesn't sound like fun at all.
It's not fun.
all right, Mitch, you're on the clock.
I am on the clock.
Round 3, last pick. Bring
There's
it
a few
home.
ways I could go.
Better make it safe.
There's a few ways I could go. I'm stuck between two.
Can I go back and change? Mine?
Probably the ER.
No.
Damn it! I remember the one I wanted.
You can share it after the draft.
Yeah, we'll talk about other places that were on the list. We're gonna be hungry after Red Rocks and DNVR bar. We're gonna need a late night snack. And all the late night diners are closed and don't exist anymore, but there's one place you can go to solve that itch. Scratch that itch. Illegal Pete's.
Yep, that's a good one.
Got to take the fellas to Illegal Pete's. In my former life, I was running an Illegal Pete's here in town. Tim Howard used to come down and hang out with his friends a lot. So if that's not a stamp of approval for Steffen and the new guys to come check out Illegal Pete's, I don't know what is. And I think that is the move. Illegal Pete's.
What are the other picks that you guys have?
Yeah, go ahead. What else you got on your list?
Oh man. I mean, Mitch isn't gonna like this, but get up to the mountains, ski, snowboard.
Yep.
If
They
that's
literally are not
if
allowed
that's
to ski or
too dangerous for Mitch, they
It's
can
not
go.
me. They're
they
not
can go
allowed to.
tubing.
It's in their contract.
They
They're
can
not
go
allowed to do
tubing.
that.
They can go on. I don't care. I'm giving them whatever they want. I'm giving them whatever they want. It's a new
Sure.
team.
That's all. That's all I'm saying. Is I know they're not allowed to.
Somebody mentioned Rocky Mountain National Park. I kind of looped that in with Stanley
yeah.
Hotel. Evergreen
Evergreen.
is
I have downtown
really
Golden, 'cause you
cool.
get the Coors
Golden's
Factory
great.
and the, downtown.
That's Golden,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Underrated.
Downtown Golden.
Oh,
Boulder
okay.
is great.
Yeah, Boulder's
Underrated in Colorado is Cheyenne Mountain Zoo.
great. Yeah, it's
I
actually
was just
really
going to say
good.
the Denver
That
Zoo
is
because it's right there.
Denver Zoo's cool, but Cheyenne Mountain Zoo.
You can get to feed the animals and all
It's
that.
and it's on the side of a mountain.
Yeah, it's
like,
pretty dope.
How
Garden
many?
of Gods down there,
Yeah,
too.
like
Yeah, that's the other ones I had. Like I had all these and then I just completely
Yeah.
blank. I had stage fright. It happens. What's one that you had, Mitch?
I said the zoo, downtown Golden, Boulder. You can get up to the Flatirons, Chautauqua Park right there. It's like right at
Yeah.
the base of the Flatirons. You go down to Pearl Street, see some crazies. Eat some illegal Pete's.
One that I
combine
had-
all those things there.
One that I had
A
that
Buffs game to see see the prime
Mitch is
time
in his
show.
best life right
Yeah.
now.
This is fun.
The one that I had, man, that I'm so mad I didn't think of it, and this was gonna be like my top 2 pick. Coors Field. It's
Yeah,
such a good
the
time.
party deck was on my
Field's
list.
great.
Yeah, go drink there. Like, go have a fun time, and then just go chill downtown for a while.
We have to acknowledge Matt's animal sanctuary because it's the third comment he's had about it.
Oh,
So,
dude.
the animal sanctuary is a great call. I'm
Dude,
not ignoring it. It's a good call, but I love the zoo, and you can't tell me
the
otherwise.
animal sanctuary is awesome.
It is. It's a very awesome
like
thing.
I've been there a couple times. Like you're elevated above the animals. Like you're walking right around them.
To piggyback,
I didn't see that in the
Kevin's
comments.
train up to Pikes Peak. I think you could
The
take.
cog rail.
Well, I think if you take the train to Winter Park,
Yeah.
it's a pretty short ride. You go right to the slopes.
I mean, you could get hurt on the train.
can you?
Are they
Yeah, what
allowed
if
to take the train?
derails?
Okay. You literally chose something that's contractually not allowed, and I commented on it. That's it. Good Lord. This is bullshit. What a great ending to this stupid podcast. I hate you guys.
Where were you not take them? Colfax?
I mean, I said DNVR bar, so I would take them to Colfax.
Well, that's not Colfax. That's the DNVR bar.
But
You're not
on
having them.
Colfax. You
but
have to
you're not
park
having-
on Colfax. You have to walk around.
But you don't have to walk down Colfax to get to the DNVR
Oh,
bar.
I wouldn't take them on a walking tour of Colfax.
Exactly. I wouldn't take. The National Museum of Science, the Natural Museum of Science.
Dinosaur Ridge.
Yeah, Dinosaur Ridge.
No. Hell
That was a
yeah,
good one.
Golden.
Yeah, there's awesome
You
things.
know where I wouldn't take them?
everywhere.
Utah.
Unfortunately, they have to go there twice before they play them here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's too far. Has to be
yeah,
an
yeah.
hour-ish.
Go ahead and plug us out of here.
DNVR_Rapids on Twitter. Please follow us there. Give us a like.
Get me out of this stupid show.
Give us a like, and please
show
let
is
Mitch
great.
know that drafting is fun and not so intense.
I had a great time.
Give us a follow as well on YouTube. We'd really appreciate that. Like this video. Follow us wherever we have podcasts, whether that be Apple, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Podcast, and all that fun stuff. Besides that, I'll pass it on to my co-hosts.
I'll jump in real quick with that Bet365 deal. Download the app. Use the code DNVR365. You put it. Dinosaurs are gone. No risk of injury. That is correct. If you are afraid of injuries and you want a safe bet, you want to take this deal with Bet365.
Yep.
Download the app. Put in the code DNVR365. You put in $10, and just for putting in $10 with that code, you're going to get $150 to play with within the app and a DNVR shirt of your choice. That alone is worth all of it. But in addition to that shirt, you get $150 to put on the Rapids winning it all this year.
You put $150 on that 10,000 to 1 odds. Or plus 10,000 odds. That's 1,000 to 1.
You're watching that
Put
Rapids.
$150,000 in your pocket.
You're watching that Rapids
Boom.
parade in the next season, like courtside, like right there on the field.
Sounds
With that
pretty cool.
money, yeah, I'd take it.
There you go.
Become a diehard member at thednvr.com. You also get a free shirt there. You get 20% off in the locker. You get 15% off at the DNVR bar. You get behind the paywall. You can check out a lot of the Nuggets content, Avs content. There's video breakdowns, written pieces, tickets to our takeover events, which we'll be announcing the Rapids takeover events here in a couple weeks, 2 months. We have to still nail down some options there. Am I missing anything?
I think you got it. There's just one thing.
Merch, buy merch,
Oh yeah, buy some merch, please.
buy merch.
Hoodies. It's chilly. Buy some hoodies.
Two things. But now there's
Look, here's
just
a great hoodie
Yeah,
right here.
I wear this
DNVR
hoodie all
got
the
you down
time.
the flag. Got
It's
your
so
little
comfy.
right here on the sleeve.
comfy, warm,
It is
cozy.
on a high quality blank. We don't cheap out on. This is the
We
good
don't.
shit here. And more important than all of that, baby. Up the pits.
We all silly like the mayor.